Well, hello there. Welcome back to another session of Virtual Field Trips, Travels, and Destinations. If you can see over my shoulder, then you should be able to see what our next virtual field trip is going to be. We're going to be exploring the Great Wall of China. How exciting! I can't wait for this lesson. I'm going to be providing you with lesson plans, curriculums, activities, things you can do that are involved with the Great Wall of China. I found a lot of information, so I can't wait for us to get started on all the different things that we can learn about the Great Wall of China. So, thank you so much for being a part of our virtual field trip today, and let's get started.
Well, hello there. Welcome back to another session of Virtual Field Trips, Travels, and Destinations. My name is Beth Gath, and I am the Systems Manager, Technology Trainer, and Robotics Instructor here at the Peabody Public Library. I am so excited about this field trip today. I don't know a whole lot about the Great Wall of China, so I'm excited to learn some new things that involve the Great Wall of China. And just like always, you will have lesson plans, activities, things that you can do that involve the Great Wall of China today. And like always, I'm always up for suggestions of different kinds of field trips that we can have. So please email me or call me. All my information is at the beginning of this class with any kind of suggestions that you may have of a field trip that you would like to see that I may not have covered yet. There's still a lot of exploring out there to do, so I want to make sure that I don't miss anything that some of you out there was hoping that I may be doing. But today we're going to be talking about the Great Wall of China. I did find this PowerPoint. I've got a few PowerPoints, a few videos to show you in regards to it. And then hopefully you'll be able to explore on your own and get as much information as you can. Okay, so what do you know about the Great Wall of China? I'm going to include this PowerPoint for you as a lesson plan as well, because there are some things you can do and interact with it, things that you want to know. So answer the questions. Okay, so we didn't have a reading. But these are some questions that you could look into as far as curriculum wise goes. Excuse me. So I do know that I have an informational sheet that will probably answer a lot of these questions for you in the lesson plans. But that's what all of this would be different questions that you can. When was the Great Wall of China built? That's silly. So that way you can do some of this exploring on your own on this. So now I'm going to go to this. All right, so here is what the Great Wall of China looks like, and we kind of saw that in the picture that we had earlier. Here's some history on the Great Wall of China. So it was built over 2,000 years ago. It was built during the Emperor Qin's rule between 1368 and 1644, and it is over 4,500 miles long. So that is longer than the distance across from New York to California, which is about 1,000 miles. So here is New York in this area down in here, all the way to California. So it is a far wall. Emperor Qin unified individual states, so he asked them to unite to build the Great Wall to fight off the Mongols from the north. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of that history on the videos that I'm going to show. It took many thousands of people. So from record, it took 300,000 soldiers and 500,000 common people, which many people died and were buried inside the wall. So there's a lot of history that is, and hard work. I mean, could you imagine? And I would imagine, years and years and years of building this, of course, you're going to lose people. And to know that they were buried inside of the wall is quite interesting. You can see it from space, the Great Wall. That's pretty cool. So this is somebody's personal experience. Can you imagine how hard it was to build the Great Wall? We are not going to watch that video because I tried clicking on it and it did not work. However, let's go ahead and watch this video.
A 13,000-mile dragon of earth and stone winds its way through the countryside of China with a history almost as long and serpentine as its structure. The Great Wall began as multiple walls of rammed earth built by individual feudal states during the Chunqiu period to protect against nomadic raiders north of China and each other. When Emperor Qin Shi Huang unified the states in 221 BCE, the Tibetan Plateau and Pacific Ocean became natural barriers. But the mountains in the north remained vulnerable to Mongol, Turkish, and Xiongnu invasions. To defend against them, the emperor expanded the small walls built by his predecessors, connecting some and fortifying others. As the structures grew from Lingtao in the west to Liaodong in the east, they collectively became known as the Long Wall. To accomplish this task, the emperor enlisted soldiers and commoners, not always voluntarily. Of the hundreds of thousands of builders recorded during the Qin dynasty, many were forcibly conscripted peasants, and others were criminals serving out sentences. Under the Han dynasty, the wall grew longer still, reaching 3,700 miles and spanning from Dunhuang to the Bohai Sea. Forced labor continued under the Han Emperor Han Wudi, and the wall's reputation grew into a notorious place of suffering. Poems and legends of the time told of laborers buried in nearby mass graves or even within the wall itself. And while no human remains have been found inside, grave pits do indicate that many workers died from accidents, hunger, and exhaustion. The wall was formidable, but not invincible. Both Genghis and his son Kublai Khan managed to surmount the wall during the Mongol invasion of the 13th century. After the Ming dynasty gained control in 1368, they began to refortify and further consolidate the wall, using bricks and stones from local kilns. Averaging 23 feet high and 21 feet wide, the wall's 5,500 miles were punctuated by watchtowers. When raiders were sighted, fire and smoke signals traveled between towers until reinforcements arrived. Small openings along the wall let archers fire on invaders, while larger ones were used to drop stones and more. But even this new and improved wall was not enough. In 1644, northern Manchu clans overthrew the Ming to establish the Qing dynasty, incorporating Mongolia as well. Thus, for the second time, China was ruled by the very people the wall had tried to keep out. With the empire's borders now extending beyond the Great Wall, the fortifications lost their purpose. And without regular reinforcement, the wall fell into disrepair. Rammed earth eroded, while brick and stone were plundered for building materials. But its job wasn't finished. During World War II, China used sections for defense against Japanese invasion, and some parts are still rumored to be used for military training. But the wall's main purpose today is cultural. As one of the largest man-made structures on Earth, it was granted UNESCO World Heritage status in 1987. Originally built to keep people out of China, the Great Wall now welcomes millions of visitors each year. In fact, the influx of tourists has caused the wall to deteriorate, leading the Chinese government to launch preservation initiatives. It's also often acclaimed as the only man-made structure visible from space. Unfortunately, that's not at all true. In low Earth orbit, all sorts of structures like bridges, highways, and airports are visible, and the Great Wall is only barely discernible. From the moon, it doesn't stand a chance. But regardless, it's the Earth we should be studying it from, because new sections are still discovered every few years, branching off from the main body and expanding this remarkable monument to human achievement.
Okay, so that was just a quick lesson on the wall, and as stated, I did not know a lot of that. So,
Showing up on the
oops,
first page of
sorry
Google
about
might
that.
not be the best for everyone,
Sorry,
but for business owners it is.
I
Like
don't.
Adrian from
What's playing?
whatsugar.com,
Oh, here we
whose
go.
site impressively ranks.
Sorry about that. Okay, let me close that one out. All right, let's take a look at this one. Oh, not that one. I wanted to do that one last. We're actually going to go over, let's go back this way. Here we go. Hang on just a minute here. It is not what I wanted. Here we go. I swear I was organized, ready to go. All right, here's this one now.
One of the most recognizable symbols of China, the Great Wall of China has a long and complicated history. It is not just one wall, but many different walls and fortifications that were built over the course of thousands of years. The walls built at different times were often built with different materials, everything from packed dirt or wood to stone and brick. These walls were meant to protect China from invasion. The earliest walls were built more than 2,000 years ago when individual states built walls of packed earth and gravel between boards to protect their territories from attackers with swords and spears. Hundreds of years later, in 221 BC, the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, ordered the walls that divided his empire should be destroyed, and a new wall connecting the remaining pieces should be built, creating fortifications that protected the empire from northern attackers. No one knows exactly how long that wall was or where it was built, as most of it has worn down or been destroyed. Over the next 1,000 years, different ruling dynasties repaired, rebuilt, or expanded sections of the wall. The leaders of the Ming Dynasty, which began in 1368, constructed the most famous version of the Great Wall. They began by building watchtowers and garrisons, later adding walls of stone and earth. New construction on the wall ended in 1644. At its height, the Great Wall stretched more than 13,000 miles, or about 22,000 kilometers in total length, making it the longest structure ever built by humans. In some places, the walls were 30 feet or 9 meters thick and 25 feet or 7.5 meters tall, and it was studded with as many as 25,000 watchtowers. You may have heard that the Great Wall is so big that it can be seen from space, but that is only partially true. It cannot be seen at all from the moon, but from a much closer orbit it could be seen by someone who knew exactly where to look and what it would look like. Today, the Great Wall of China is a World Heritage Site, protected and maintained for all of humanity to enjoy. Only some pieces of the wall are taken care of, however, as it is simply too big and too damaged by time and old battles to repair and take care of it all. In fact, nearly 1/3 of the wall has completely disappeared, fallen down, and even the stones taken away by local people to use in building. Still, the Great Wall is the most popular place for tourists to visit in China, attracting millions of people each year. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Great Wall of China today. Goodbye till next time.
Okay, let's take a look at the aerial view that shows all of it here. It's just beautiful. Look at all that scenery you have by going through there. having to go up and down those all the time. So that was just simply beautiful. Let's look up some ways that we can find out some Great Wall of China facts. And I'm just going into Google and let's look at some images. So this shows you more images of the Great Wall of China. Here is some facts. So people usually think that the length of the Great Wall of China, which is about 3,900 miles, but in fact its overall length is 5,500 miles. The 3,900 miles is a long wall, but you must add the length of the trench and the barrier, which is also part of the complexity of the wall. The construction works of the Great Wall of China take up to 2,000 years. The first part of the wall has been built since the 8th century BC. The myth says that the cement mixture used to unify a building material is made of human bones, but that's not true. The building material is composed of a variety of objects that are available on that day, ranging from compacted soil, stone, wood, brick, and clay. When some part of the wall is well cared for and renovated, mostly abandoned, in 1970, even the parts of the wall look porous because people took a stone and brick as material to build their houses. There is a popular myth that the Great Wall of China is visible from the moon because it might just be like a strand of human hair from a distance of about 2 miles. This myth is not true. Now, we did see that in the video that if you're looking for it specifically, you may be able to find it. But if you're not looking for it, you're more than likely not going to be able to see it from space. This wall has also been the land of several sports competitions. In 1987, for example, a British citizen, William Lindsay, ran alone for more than 1,500 miles on the wall. The highest peak of the Great Wall of China is on the mountain Hida, close to Beijing, more than 5,000 feet above sea level. Let's take a look at what that may look like. Go into images. So this would be the highest peak. So I'm just Googling it to see what we come up with. And most of that looks like it could possibly be corroded. It's a beautiful picture. It doesn't look like it's very safe in areas though. I noticed that when we were looking at that last video. So the wall is also known as the world's longest cement building, and allegedly hundreds of thousands of people died during construction. Some of them have even been buried in the foundations of the wall. Some tourism service providers also provide service tour of night when a wall decorated with rows of lights makes the wall look very unique and very beautiful to look at. Let's take a look at what the Great Wall looks like at night. Images. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So they have lots of different images of what it looks like because they have lights that run through it. How amazing and gorgeous is that? Just breathtaking. Because of the large size once, this wall is very difficult to care. Now there are two major organizations that take care of it. The China Great Wall Society and the International Friends of the Great Wall. look, I mean, you can even see it all the way back here. It's just beautiful. Look how far back it goes. I mean, imagine, I mean, you would not be able to see all of this in one day. And parts of it you may not even be able to see at all, depending upon the whether or not it's still freestanding or not. So let's see if we can find some more facts here. This video is quite long, so I'm not going to play that. So here, Britannica, the Great Wall, largest building construction project ever undertaken. The dates range from 1368 to 1644. Early building in the 7th century. Let's see what some of these pictures show us here. So you can definitely see how, you know, some of this, since the upkeep hasn't been done, it's just kind of overgrown. I'd imagine some of these areas, probably as mentioned, are not very safe to be in. But we can clearly see the ones that are safe. So yeah, see, there's not a whole lot left of this particular part of the wall. But you have all this, and this is where they would shoot their arrows through, and even through here, and just how far it goes. It's great. It's beautiful. This is just a map. All right. Let's close out of this. Let's see if we can find a few more facts, and then I'm just going to kind of let you guys explore on your own. Hopefully these lesson plans that I give you are going to help you while you're researching or looking into this. Here's 17 facts. I think this is what I had up the other day for myself. So where is the Great Wall of China? The Great Wall of China is easily accessible from Beijing. Though the massive structure stretches through, I can't say that. Shanahagan, I'm sure I'm not saying it correctly. How long? 5,500 miles. When was it built? 771 BCE. Why was the Great Wall built? For wartime defense. How was it built? Natural barriers like rivers or high mountains. Hundreds of years before any official construction on the Great Wall began, individual Chinese states built fortifications against one another using mostly earth, wood, and stones. Construction during the Ming Dynasty made use of bricks rather than cut stone, which appears largely in the foundation and gateways. More than 1 million soldiers, commoners, prisoners, and animals were recruited to help build the wall. Hundreds of thousands of men died while working on the wall, which required them to carry heavy materials on their backs up to the top of the ridge lines. There are rumors that many of the dead were buried in the wall. Much of the work on the oldest sections of the Great Wall were built by hand, though primitive technology, wheelbarrows, ropes, basket and pulley system, horse, oxen-drawn carts. When is the best time to visit? The most popular time to visit the Great Wall of China are early May or October, but travelers should expect massive crowds during these periods. These are major holidays and everyone travels. Autumn is arguably one of the most popular and beautiful times to visit the Great Wall of China. Weather is comfortable and dry, and the mountain's foliage is a kaleidoscopic array of hues. During the winter, the Great Wall of China is blanketed in snow, and the number of tourists will drop dramatically. Winter in Beijing shoulder season, so you'll enjoy serious deals and discounts on a hotel room and tours. Can you see it from space? Contrary to popular rumor, you can't see it from space on the naked eye. However, photographs taken from the International Space Center under ideal conditions have depicted sections of the wall. Let's see what this is. Great Wall of Steel. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. How many people visit the Great Wall? Every year, more than 10 million people flock to the Great Wall of China, making it one of the world's most popular tourist attraction. How to plan a visit. The Great Wall of China is a perfect day trip for travelers based in Beijing. Most clients do one day at the Great Wall as part of the visits. Typically, we have a day of sightseeing. Then the second day is an excursion to the wall. Pick the part of the wall that best suits your needs and interests. Getting to the wall from Beijing. Beautiful Ming Dynasty portion of the Great Wall is around 50 miles from Beijing, but getting there can be a bit tricky for travelers making it the trek solo. Visitors sticking with public transportation will first need to go to the station where you can take hour-long express bus ride, and here you'll need to transfer to a roundabout. The Airport Express connects directly from Beijing Capital International Airport to that station. I can't say this, Dagzamen. Subway lines are also transferred to that station from Beijing West Railway. However, one of the most convenient and exciting ways to get there is taking the train. Tour groups. For a private luxury tour of the Great Wall, you can book it with Imperial Tours. A Beijing day trip with the stops of the Forbidden City and fine dining. If you'd like to hike but would prefer not to do it alone, consider the 4-day Great Wall hiking tour. After day exploring, you'll begin to moderate hike. They have a travel store. Hiking the Great Wall, one of the most popular hikes along the Great Wall snakes, is Wangkal section of the Oxhorn. Here, unrestored sections of the wall switch back and forth along steep mountain passes. Hikers should expect to spend up to 4 hours each way. Wow. Another good hike covers this section. There's a challenging route that covers 4 miles each way and passes a series of watchtowers. Great Wall of China do's and don'ts. Don't visit the Great Wall during a holiday. The attraction is popular with tourists, but locals love the site as well. Tomb Sweeping Day in April, for example, sends claustrophobia-inducing crowds to the country's most famous sites. Do consider waiting until the late afternoon to visit the Great Wall when insiders say many of the early morning and afternoon crowds begin to clear out. Do pack comfortable walking shoes and plenty of water. Nothing worse than being out there and having your feet hurting. Great Wall has faced erosion concerns over the years. After centuries defending dynasties, China's Great Wall has begun to crumble. Entire sections of the wall have been swallowed by weather and time. And that's to say nothing of the many wars and man-made afflictions. Chinese state-run media has reported that nearly 1/3 of the walls have already disappeared. It's just not slow-moving erosion wreaking havoc on the wall. The site has also succumbed to earthquakes and torrential storms. The best restaurant near the Great Wall. Laws protecting, so it's not just forces of weather that have destroyed it, but alarmingly 30% of the original structure has disappeared, largely because of mankind's endless mending. In 2006, China passed the Great Wall Protection Ordinance, though the country has struggled to enforce any rules or regulations. Travelers should note that there are fines for taking bricks or other sections of the wall, and that it's inadvisable to pay locals for access to less traveled sections, as this puts even more unregulated parts of the wall at risk. So some notable visitors to the wall. So there you have it. It's a lot of information, and really all you got to type in is the Great Wall China facts, and you're going to get tons and tons of pages, videos, anything that involves the Great Wall. So, well, all right, all right. I am going to leave us on that note. Let's see if we can find another little sneak peek of a video that isn't too terribly long, that we might be able to take another awesome look. And this one is from National Geographic. So I'm going to end us with the National Geographic's iconic Great Wall from above. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for being a part of our virtual escape room today. Or, sorry, our virtual travels and destinations. I apologize. Well, thanks so much for being a part of our virtual field trip today in Travels and Destinations. I really appreciate you taking the time to be a part of it, and taking some of those lessons and activities. And once again, if there's anything you would like to see that we aren't doing, I want to make sure that we're hitting that. So reach out to me, do whatever you need to do to get me here. So thanks so much for being a part of our virtual field trip today, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Have a great one.